And I want the left to not be so up their own ass that they are unable to see the difference and are unable to scrabble pond life for a crumb of a brain synapse. That when the time comes to meddle up and hold your nose and vote for the betterment of at least one person's life, or one person being alive at least, then they can practice what they preach and vote, and not be children who are watching their house burn down and say, well, you know, why would I take anything out of the house? Why would I throw buckets of water on the house? Why would I call the fire department? I mean, the house is burning down anyway, right? So what does it matter? It's been about, I want to say, a week since we talked about Cornel West running for president under the People's Party. And, well, I'm probably going to put this into the same segment. I started editing the last one, and then I felt really uncomfortable with a few things. I think if we can go back a little bit to play catch up for people in chat, my general takeaway is that running as a third-party candidate right now is probably a good thing. It's probably the best thing that a socialist, SOCDEM, leftist, whatever moniker, you know, they choose. It's probably the best thing that we can do in this position, running against an incumbent Democratic president. Ideally, you know, there could potentially, in my ideal world, in my ideal else world, there could be some, you know, bringing to the table of ideas and capitulation of people like Biden. Highly doubtful. However, I still maintain that when it comes time to vote in the general election, you know, you need to vote for Biden. Vote for your third-party candidate in the primaries. I'm getting that right? Oh, God, I'm so tired. This coffee is not waking me up. Look, you can vote for Cornel West, that's fine, but when Biden's going up against Trump, we covered this, you know, harm reduction, etc. I'm not recovering those old arguments. Generally, good idea to vote for Biden. Well, I kind of maintained this position about Cornel West. Uh-oh. I thank my dear brother Russell Brand for providing the stage for my presidential announcement. He's a progressive Jim. It's a grift. It's a grift. It's been 1 week. It's a grift. For those of you who are unaware, Russell Brand kind of fell into the general purview and umbrella of loquacious populism, and then that almost immediately heel turned within a couple of years into anti-science, anti-vax, fascism under the guise of leftist populism. Kind of, you might be surprised to hear, very akin to Jimmy Dore, which the People's Party is essentially Jimmy Dore's party at this point. I know that there are different factions in different cities who disavow Jimmy Dore. The People's Party is Jimmy Dore's party. These are grifters. I have absolutely no interest in working with these people. Normally, I don't split hairs within leftist circles. Infighting is foolish, and we are no closer to getting any step closer towards egalitarianism, true equity, healthcare. Holy shit, I want healthcare. We're not going to get that through infighting. However, you see, I don't feel bad about crossing hairs about this because these people aren't leftists. They're not. They're faux populists at best. If I'm being entirely generous, Jimmy Dore is a fucking joke. He used to be a leftist. Now he just grifts the right with a progressive bend. Yep, absolutely, unquestionably, he's a right-wing media figure. Unquestionably, a fascist media figure. Not even just red fash. You know, I'm not talking like tankies or anything. I mean, like, genuinely a science denial, theocratically fascist figure who espouses fascist drivel. He is no leftist, but he does it under the mask of saying he's a leftist. Mike from PA is another good example. Brianna Joy Gray, right? All of these faux populist figures, I want nothing to do with. It's a grift. And I should have honestly, when Cornel West's announcement video had an interview with Joe Rogan, I was very generous, and I was kind of harkened back to when Joe Rogan was endorsing Bernie Sanders and the good that comes out of that. I was being all too generous. It's a fucking grift. That's all it is. That way people like Joe Rogan, people like Brianna Joy Gray, people like Jimmy Dore, people like Russell Brand can still pretend like they're progressives and get more money. I'm so over it. FT Signifier, day one, suddenly more invested in politics. I hate you. I genuinely hate you. You are a harm towards egalitarianism and leftism. I can't stand this. Oh, but don't worry. One day later, much less excited, or well, 2 days, much less excited about Cornel West 48 hours later. FD Signifier went on stream, if I remember correctly, and started to look into a little bit of Cornel West, started to look into a little bit about the People's Party, and some people were like, yikes, I don't know. People in his chat were like, hey, like, you know, maybe you should look into this a little bit more. You know, go over every angle. Hey, you know, unbeknownst to me, Commie Bravo, I didn't know that the People's Party was Jimmy Dore's party, okay? I didn't know about their inner workings and everything. This person had people in his chat saying, hey, so this guy was on Russell Brand recently and is calling Russell Brand an ally. And FD Signifier's response is, I'm EP. I go Banky mode. He straight up said, I'm EP and went to bed. You make us look insane. I think my general takeaways are still the same, but I can't apply them to Cornel West. I think at this point he's kind of a socialist media darling. He's an activist, and I think he does good work for activism, but I don't know what that looks like in the purview of politics, of being a politician, of being able to move people over. I think he's entirely inefficient. Bernie's an activist, but Bernie also knows how to kind of play the politics game, as we've seen over the past handful of years, right? So I don't know. I think, again, my general sentiment of run as a third-party candidate during a Democratic incumbent run, and then during the next time there's a Democratic seat open to be the president, then you can run as a Democrat. Be a leftist, but run as a Democrat. Again, I would like to maintain that the right is so good at using the mask of republicanism, of conservatism, even though they're all fascists. They posture themselves as Republicans, as moderate right-leaning candidates. But you can't look at people like MTG and say that they're a conservative TM, right? They're fascists, and they're Nazis. You have people going on stage and talking about Jewish space lasers under the guise of being a moderate conservative. That's foolish. But if that's the game, then I want that for the left. I want communists running under the guise of Democrat. And I want the left to not be so up their own ass that they are unable to see the difference and are unable to scrabble pond life for a crumb of a brain synapse. That when the time comes to metal up and hold your nose and vote for the betterment of at least one person's life, or one person being alive at least, then they can practice what they preach and vote, and not be children who are watching their house burn down and say, well, you know, why would I take anything out of the house? Why would I throw buckets of water on the house? Why would I call the fire department? I mean, the house is burning down anyway, right? So what does it matter? Foolish. Yeah, my general sentiments about the effectiveness of third candidate running as a third party candidate stand. I just don't know if I can in good faith apply that to Cornel West anymore. It's been a week. It's been 1 week and it feels like a grift. That's how the song goes, right?
Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you're so inclined, feel free to like and share the video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more. If you would like to join chat on stream, go pop on over to twitch.tv/CommieBravo. I hope to see you there.